and welcome to Ace TCG, and in today's video we are going to be taking a look at some of the spoilers that are coming out for future sets. So we'll be looking at some of the trial deck cards that are coming out in the future and some of the set 6 spoilers that we've seen. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So we're going off a more presentation sort of thing because I like to be able to just show the card art and the actual like text that the translation of this fine person has made. Ensan or Nissan Gaming channel, I'm not too certain, but you should go and check them out because they have fantastic translations and they are still learning Japanese, but they are doing a really good job just giving us all of the spoilers ahead of time, which is really nice. And I've messaged them and they gave me permission to use their content in this video. So I'm really happy to work with them. But without further ado, let's get straight into it. So we have a black SR from BT6. So the first few cards are going to be cards from BT6, and then we will look at the trial deck cards. So this is a black SR, as I mentioned, in BT6. It is a 12 cost with a Digivolve cost on black level 5 of 4, with a DP power of 12, which is good for a level 6. It's on the higher end because it can either go obviously between 11,000 or 12,000. And it has the following abilities of, when evolving, destroy all of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest play cost. This is quite nice. It's like an Omnimon for specific costs. So this can be good in a lot of scenarios because, for example, here's a really good example of when this card would be good, is if your opponent has a lot of blockers out, and they're all the same cost, you can just get rid of them. And also if your opponent's stuck in a case where they are struggling to actually like get to places or they're missing like pieces and stuff, you might be able to punish their boards if they're still just trying to evolve up. Also, this card absolutely demolishes Rookie Rush because it'll just completely wipe the 2 costs up from the board because they all have the lowest cost, which is pretty darn nice. It also has a really nice effect of, during your turn, when your opponent has a Digimon inactive, this Digimon gains a security attack +1. I really like this because it feels like a opposite effect of green in sorts, and also with black looking at reboot a lot and things being stood. I really like how they've added that into that. I think this card's going to be a really nice addition, and I really like the balance from Bandai making this a 4 cost Digivolve because it has an extremely strong when Digivolving effect, plus with that security attack, if it was the 3 cost, being able to wipe your opponent's specific numbers and then also gain a security attack might be a bit too strong, so I really like the balancing there. Next up, we have Eosmon. Eosmon, I'm not too certain on names. I'm going to struggle with some of these names yet because I haven't seen the Digimon actual anime, so bear with me. But this card is really interesting. It is a 4 cost for play cost. It has a Digivolve cost of 2 on a green rookie and has a DP power of 4,000. It has the effects of, when played, you may play 1 white level 4 cost, 1 white 4 cost or below tamer card from your hand without paying its memory cost. However, then your opponent may play a tamer card from their hand without paying its memory cost. So again, with the balancing, I actually quite enjoy this. So although that might seem like, yeah, you get one out, but your opponent gets one out, you also have to think of maybe your opponent doesn't have one in hand at the time. If you play this card early, there can be a lot of scenarios where you're playing it and your opponent just won't have one because they haven't been able to draw a lot of cards. However, you also have to be aware that you might be helping your opponent cheat out an additional card if you do play this. It also has a really cool effect of, when attacking, you may play a white 4 cost or below tamer card from your hand without paying its memory cost. So it's really helping you like smash out the tamers from your hand at a much cheaper cost, which is kind of good, to be honest. Having that ability to get your tamers out is really nice, because you don't want to be paying so much for your tamers all of the time, and it does feel bad to play your tamers at like max cost sometimes, and this is a quite nice way to get around it. We have a card that has made the community go absolutely a bit insane because of just how fun the mechanic behind it is. This card's actually added a new mechanic to the game, and I will explain it. So this is the Eosmon level 5. It is a 5 cost, and it can be digivolved on a level 4 white or green, and it also has a DP power of 6,000. So this Eosmon's effect has, you can put up to 50 cards that has the same card number of this card in your deck. So what that means is you can put this specific card that's on the screen now up to 50 in a deck, which is really fun. Other TCGs have done similar things before, but I actually think this is done perfectly. The balancing aspect of this seems really nice. So The good thing about this is it says card number as well. So you're not going to get mistaken that you can't play the level 4 with this. So you can run this as a 4 of in your deck, but you can't run 50 of this card. But you can have this one. So it has the when attacking ability of you may play a level 5 or below Eosmon from your hand without paying its memory cost. So how a lot of decks are looking right now is that you will play one of these and attack with it on the turn after, obviously because of summoning sickness. And on the attack, you'll summon another Eosmon, and then you'll hard cast an Eosmon from hand. So you're getting 3 Mons out, and then if your opponent doesn't remove those, then you're summoning 4 again next turn, and it can really get out of hand if you don't have a way to deal with it. The downside of this deck, from what we're seeing already, is that if your opponent does have a way to get rid of those cards early, you can struggle to bounce back a little bit because you're not getting like card draw. In the same way that Rookie Rush can sometimes struggle with card draw if you aren't constantly getting out your babies and stuff like that, because you're not digivolving all of the time. Of course, with Rookie Rush right now, they put some level 4s in to deal with that as well. It also has the during your turn effect of this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP, which is okay because it means, well, it's a level 5, so you being able to swing into your opponent's other level 5s at 7000 DP is pretty darn nice. So now we'll go over some of the other SRs, and these are some of the later ones that have been causing a rage. This is Agumon Bond of Courage. So Agumon Bond of Courage is a 14 cost on play, which is quite high, but it is a level 7. It has a 3 cost Digivolution cost on top of a level 6, and it has 14,000 DP base. So it has some amazing effects of when attacking, if you have a tamer, destroy one of your opponent's 13,000 DP or below Digimon. So this is practically a Gaia Force free on attack, which is just insane to think about. It's really, really strong value. And again, we come back to those cards where if your opponent doesn't have a way to deal with this, this is a game-winning card. It also has a during your turn effect of once per turn, when your opponent's Digimon are destroyed, discard one of your opponent's security, which is, again, fantastic. Just, it matches so brilliantly with the actual card, and again with balance and card balance from Bandai, in that because it's a level 7, it can be that little bit harder to get out at times, but as you will see, there are some other cards that are going to help you get this card out at a much faster and much cheaper way. But this card is fantastic, and as a person who doesn't particularly play red, it makes me want to insert 6. Next, we have Gabumon Bond of Friendship. So this is Blue's version of the Agumon, which is pretty darn nice. So it has the exact same costs, but on Blue being 14 play cost, 3 Digivolve cost on a level 6 but Blue, and a DP power of 14,000. It has the when attacking ability of once per turn. If you have a tamer, put this Digimon to active, which is nice because that's like Blue's sort of thing now. It also has the when attacking ability of return one of your opponent's level 5 or below Digimon to the bottom of the deck. That Digimon's Digivolution sources are discarded. So whereas this one can target 13 or below a Digimon to destroy it, this one can get rid of specific levels instead of DP power. So this one seems stronger straight off the bat, but the Gabumon Bond of Friendship being able to, as you will see, just restand in other ways and be able to get this effect off multiple times, you can really punish your opponent if they don't have just like a big boss monster out. And you can effectively get to a point where you're wiping your opponent's board, putting really on the back foot. And again, in the same aspect that the Agumon needs to be dealt with, otherwise it could be game. This Gabumon does the exact same thing, but without the threat to security. And genuinely, I'm a bit more scared of this Gabumon than I actually am of the Agumon. I'm scared of both, to be honest. I am terrified to play against either of these. But the fact, and just that the image of playing against this Gabumon, not having an answer, trying to play things to deal with it, and them just snowballing because you're going to have to build something just in your raising area to then effectively go into this if you don't have an options card that's going to remove this, because on attack, if it's going to be restanding multiple times too, which again is going to destroy your security that way, then they're just going to be able to put anything that's lower than a mega to your bottom of your deck, and you have no real way to counter it unless you have an option card. All big megas already out. Really exciting stuff. Next, and this is some of the things we're talking about, this is the Agumon that'll be coming out on BT6. It is a 3 cost rookie with a Digivolve cost of 0 on a level 2 red, DP power of 2000, and it has the effects of during both players' turns, once per turn, when your tamer with Yagami Taichi in its name is played, get memory +1, which is really nice. It also has the during your turn effect of if this Digimon is Agumon Bond of Courage, this Digimon gets security attack +1. So this is the Agumon that we were just mentioning then. So not only will you destroy a card, you will discard, so trash one of your opponent's security, and you'll do 2 security checks because of the Agumon rookie, if you have it in your base. Really, really strong rookie, and something that you should be acknowledging now as well. Power scale is something that happens in every TCG to try and keep people and players interested in the actual game. And if you look closely, this card has 2 very strong effects. One being an inheritable that's really strong for your main boss monster, and the other being a really nice just effect to help you get more consistency and memory control aspects when you're trying to play your tamer out. The fact that a rookie that costs 3, DP power right at this point isn't going to be too mad. Being 2000 doesn't matter for a rookie realistically, and the fact that its Digivolution cost is still 0, you get so much value from such a card you can still run 4 of, and at such a low cost, it's pretty darn ridiculous. As we mentioned, this is the tamer that you will get +1 memory for, so it is Yagami Taichi, I believe that's how you pronounce it. I do apologize if it's not. It has a 3 cost tamer, but if you obviously have the Agumon out, it's going to be 2 because you'll gain a memory back. And it has the effects of, during your turn, when your Digimon with Agumon or Greymon in its name is moved from raising area to battle area, memory +1 and draw 1. So one thing to be aware of in this, if you have this Agumon in your raising area, so when you Digivolve into it and stuff like that, and you play the Yagami Taichi, I don't think that the Agumon effect will go off because it's in raising area, and I don't think effects go off in the raising area because it's still technically not part of your board. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how it has been ruled in the past. I know Digivolution effects, when you're trying to do them in your raising area, do not go off. But yeah, it has that effect of gain a memory and draw, which is pretty darn strong because you can possibly gain 4 draws in a memory throughout the game, even more than that if you have more babies in your deck. Now, it also has the, and this is what I was talking about, being able to get the Agumon Bond of Courage out. It has the main effect of once per turn, you can evolve one of your Agumon into a Agumon Bond of Courage in your hand by paying its evolution cost, while ignoring the level requirements. So this is something that we have seen before in the form of Impmon and Beezlemon, doing very similar things. However, this effect has an amazing balance to it, and that it has the if you did do this, you have to discard 2 of your own security, and then if you have 1 or more security, once you've done this, at the end of the turn, you need to destroy that Digimon. So perfect balance, and because it's a way for you to swing back into the game if you're already on low security, and you can have a big, oh, I actually have an answer to you now, which is nice. And sometimes I feel like that's what the game's lacking, because when you're behind, it can feel like you're really, really behind in the game. But things like this can really, really help you get there and really help you sway the game a little bit more. Again, really nice balancing from Bandai. You gave a fantastic tamer and a fantastic set of cards and play style that is really nice, but it has its downsides to it too, in that it's going to cost you 2 security, and it will also destroy that Digimon if you are not on the back foot. So now we'll see Blue's version of these. We have Gabumon, of course. It has the same memory tamer effect of during both players' turns, once per turn, when your tamer with Ishida Yamato in its name is played, memory +1. So you might be wondering why it says both players' turns. This is because the tamer effects have the security effect of play this tamer. So you will actually be able to play that, and then you'll gain a memory if you have this card out. So again, that's something you need to watch out for if you're playing against the blue or red versions in level 6, because you might accidentally lose your turn if you're on 0. Memory, that being. It also has the when attacking ability of if this Digimon is Gabumon Bond of Friendship, put this Digimon to active. So this is how we were mentioning how you can actually restand the Gabumon and get multiple of that effect off, which seems extremely strong. It's not the same as a security attack, but for blue, this is much better, because being able to get this attack off twice means that you're just, again, being additionally controlling and annoying. But yeah, again, it's the same cost as the Agumon that we've just looked at, and that has the same amazing fact and power scaling that it has 2 really strong effects. And we will now, I think this is the last, yeah, this is our last BT6 card, and this is the Tamer for blue, Ishida Yamato. Again, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. I hope I am. I apologize if I am not. It has the during your turn effect of when your Digimon with Gabumon or Garurumon in its name is moved from racing area to battle area, memory, +1, and draw 1 card. Same as the red version of this card for the Taichi. And it also has the similar effect of main once per turn. You can evolve one of your Gabumon into a Gabumon Bond of Friendship in your hand by paying its evolution cost, while ignoring the level requirement. If you did, discard 2 of your security. Then if you have 1 or more security at the end of the turn, destroy the Digimon. Same as the other guy. So one thing to mention in this is it just states Gabumon. It does not state specific numbers, so this looks like it could be any Gabumon, which is pretty darn nice because you have some really nice options to play Gabumon in blue, and the same for Agumon in red. So yeah, overall, really nice card. I really like this type of effect, and I like where it's going. It seems like it's going to make the game a lot faster, but having that downside is really nice from a balancing act, and we'll just have to see how it plays out. Next, we are going to be looking at the starter deck cards for both red and blue. Sorry about that. So now we have Eosmon. Eosmon is a rookie that will be coming out for red in their new starter deck, which is a 4 cost with 3000 DP, a 0 Digivolve effect, 0 Digivolve cost, and it has the effect of a blocker, and during your turn, this Digimon cannot attack players. Really nice balancing, and it's actually pretty scary to see red get a rookie blocker, because it means that they can play this out and have even additional support when they have such strength in the security attack area anyway. So having nice defensive cards being able to be played in your deck while also having really offensive cards in your deck too. Next we have Doraemon, which is a rookie for blue in their starter deck. It is a 3 cost with a similar DP power of 2000. It has a 0 Digivolve cost and has the when played effect of reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Digimon with Draymon to your hand, and return the rest to the bottom of your deck. So this is really good for consistency in the Draymon deck, and I cannot complain at all. Anything that has an on-play effect always catches my eye, just for the opportunity to grab something that you need when you need it. Ooh, now a name that makes me so happy because I love yellow so much, but we have a starter deck Rise Greymon for red. It is a 7 cost, level 5, with a Digivolve cost of 3 on top of a level 4. It has DP power of 7,000, that being, and it has the on-play effect of destroy 1 Digimon with DP 5,000 or lower. So normally I wouldn't think that this card is too strong, but however right now there is actually a yellow-red control deck going around a little bit. Whether this could slide into that slot, we'll see. Whether this is going to be in something that I'm completely missing is another good thing. Next we have Wingdramon. Wingdramon is a blue card, again, that will be coming out in their starter deck. It's a level 5 with a 7 cost. It has a Digivolve cost of 3. And a DP power of 7,000, and it simply has the blocker ability. Sorry, I was dead thirsty. The blocker ability is nice, giving blue another option for blocker is about time, I'd say. I really like this card, and it's simple, and it will do the job, and it might be something that blue look to go into if they want more defense in their decks. Now we look at some of the options cards. We have V-Wing Blade. V-Wing Blade is a 6 cost options card for blue. This will again be coming in their starter deck. It has the main effect of return 1 of your opponent's Digimon with level 6 or lower back to their hand and discard all of the Digimon sources. It also has the security effect of activate main effect. So yeah, on check, activate it. So this is fine, a nice bit of control for blue, and certainly an option to go there. Whether paying 6 to do this is the best thing, and the fact that it returns it to hand is a little bit of a downside to that, but it could be an answer to a really tricky card if you're struggling against something. The requirement for it to just be level 6 or lower when we've just seen some new level 7s coming out is a bit annoying, but again, this might be good for tempo, to stop your opponent and slow them down as much, but giving your opponent memory can in turn be your downside to this card. But it has options, and we might see it more in the future. Next we have Atomic Blaster. Atomic Blaster is a 5 cost red options card. It has the main effect of select your opponent's Digimon that sum up to 8,000 DP and destroy all of the selected Digimon. Insane. So again, red get an amazing options card in that this can either choose to destroy something that equals 8,000 or destroy cards that add up to that. Which you can end up getting so much value from this, especially if your opponent's playing rookies that only have 2,000 power. Because then you could remove a 6,000, you know math. You can remove a 6,000 DP Digimon and a 2,000 and you get a super value. This is really good because, again, more options to slow down things like Rookie Rush. Really, I love cards like this. I really love stuff like this. I still run something poor in my shine list. I'm trying to remember its name. Yes, basically the one that just removes level 3 rookies by themselves. And I really like the look of this. And as I mentioned, that yellow-red control deck might actually come back a little bit more in set 6, especially with cards like this being added from the starter deck, not set 6. But yes, that are all the cards that we have seen currently. I've already covered some of the other ones on the channel, and to be honest, I hope you enjoyed the video. I want to know what you are most excited about from the cards that you've seen. Is it some of the blockers that we're seeing in the starter deck? Is it of course, the Agumons and the Gabumons just looking insane? I'm really liking the look of that black SR, to be honest. It's making me look at the colours that I always look away from, being black, red and blue, but it definitely gets me there. If you have enjoyed it and you want to become part of my community, please consider subscribing. And if you are bored and like clicking like buttons, then yes, now that my heartless content begging is over, I hope you have a great day. And if you haven't been, that it starts to become one. So yeah, thanks for watching my content.